The vote is the most powerful instrument ever devised by men for breaking down injustice and destroying the terrible walls which imprison men because they are different from other men. That's a quote from Lyndon B. Johnson. The United States is ranked 31 out of 35 compared to other democratic nations in voter turnout. Even crazier, only a little over half of the eligible voters cast their ballots to vote in both the 2012 and the 2016 elections. This is confusing and unreal, especially for a country who claims to love democracy a lot. More people need to register to vote, and as a registered voter in the United States, I will explore why it's important for eligible voters to vote. First, I will look at the problem of the people not voting, the reasons why most people don't vote, and the advantages of why you should vote. So now that we've gotten the introduction out of the way, let's look at the problem, which is not enough people are registered to vote. A news contributor to the website Heavy, Daniel S. Levine, says that shared that in the past two elections, the voter turnout has been very low. In 2012, the voter turnout was 53.6% of the eligible who can vote, and in 2016, it was 57.9%. Now, even though that is over half, that's still only 129 million voting out of 241 who are eligible to vote, which means a lot of people still do not show up. Drew De Silver, a senior writer of Pew Research, says that compared to other countries, compared to the other countries, you have Belgium, who has the highest turnout at 87% of their eligible voters, which is over 30% of what the United States is. We have a representative democracy in which we have the chance to choose our people representatively, yet millions and millions of people aren't voting. Now that we've looked at the problem, let's look at reasons why this problem happens. One of the big reasons this happens is because of because of the lack of interest in the candidates. In a stats report by Pew Research assistant Hannah Fingerhut, Trump in this last election wouldn't set a moral standard, which is why many people were not interested in him, while Clinton was criticized for not running an open and transparent administration. So, in other words, the candidates aren't trusted, and therefore there's not much interest in them. And this was from Heston's voting, from the Forum Chapel of Heston. This was the second reason why most students did not vote, because they weren't happy with the candidates, which is a huge deal. Another reason why people do not vote is that they have a lack of general interest in voting altogether. The Census Bureau did a poll stating that 28% of people are too busy and the other 16% are not interested. If you put those two together, that's 44% of people who are either not interested or they're too busy to vote, which is incredible. So now that we've looked at the reasons why this happens, let's look at the advantages of voting. From the website nonprofitvote.org, and their article of benefits of voting, when you vote, you choose who is best for the job. Without that vote, the candidate who you think should get in and supports your ideas gets a serious suffering due to your lack of support. Registering also means more involvement in the community. When you give your vote, you're showing to your community who you want to vote for. You also communicate feedback to the next political powers and are more politically informed. If you put in your vote, you are actively saying that you are interested in the politics and are willing to give your opinion on what the matters are. Voting also starts conversation, which enhances political awareness in the long run. The more you are connected and communicating with your families and the community on the political issues, the more you have an awareness of the political world. So in conclusion, many Americans aren't voting due to lack of interest and in both candidates and concept. However, there are advantages to voting, such as community and voting for who will best run our country. Think of a time when you were left powerless or you weren't heard in your voice. That's our country without your vote. It has no voice and it's powerless. This is the way that you can express this power. So next election, go vote. Thank you.